Ryan!
Ryan Zim, a native of Lawrence, Long Island, and now freshman at Macaulay Honors College at Baruch, sits down to discuss with us his passion, music. What were your first experiences of music?
Were car rides to school and just car rides anywhere. We had, my parents had a Billy Joel CD that they would just put in, and me and my brother memorized all the songs and all the lyrics and just sang along with it every time they played it. And my grandpa is a cantor, which is sort of like a rabbi, but he sings the prayers instead, and he used to be a really famous opera singer. So when me, my brother, and my cousins were younger, we would go on stage and sing with him at his concerts, and we'd always go to the studio with him and stuff like that.
What instruments do you play?
The instrument I play the best is probably guitar, and I sing too, if you want to call a voice an instrument, but I can play bass, I can play drums decently, same with piano, just by sort of knowing the notes of, because all of the notes in music are the same, so you can sort of just go back and forth. I would like to play saxophone though. I don't know why, but I think it's a really cool instrument.
Have any musicians influenced you?
Well, my favorite guitar players have influenced me most in guitar, like John Petrucci, who's a guitar player from Dream Theater. And there's also a lot of jazz players that I listen to because they're just amazing at what they do, even though not a lot of people, well, there is a big jazz community, yet most of it goes unnoticed, and me and my brother sort of kind of just listen to it a lot together.
What is your favorite type of music?
My favorite types of music, I would have to say, are jazz, hip-hop, R&B, rock. I kind of like all types of music.
Who are some of your favorite musicians?
My favorite musicians, like I said, John Petrucci, who else? John Mayer, my brother. Who else? I know this one guitar player, Guthrie Govan. He's pretty insane, and I wish I could play like that. John Schofield, Pat Metheny.
Do you frequently play for audiences?
Most of the stuff I've played for people has kind of just been like little impromptu performances where I would just be at home and my mom would tell me to take out my guitar and I would be really embarrassed, but then eventually I would just take it out and play and people would just sit there and listen, which was pretty cool. And same thing at like family gatherings over the holidays, and like everyone would just listen to me play and sing, which was pretty fun to do.
Can you tell us about Poofy and the Busboys?
Well, Poofy and the Busboys started, not exactly positive when they started, but it was in high school. My brother plays guitar, went to high school with the bass player Ronnie, the drummer Jervon, and the former keyboard player Gary. And then Greg, who's Poofy, I think he answered an ad and he joined the band as their rapper. It was, I think, about 3 years ago since they've kind of finalized their lineup, but Gary has since moved on, and Charles, who's Jervon's friend, joined the band. The band, they want to make their music more or less mainstream, but still stick to their musical roots because they don't want to sell out, basically. And they're all really, really good musicians, and it's, I don't know, they kind of just work together well.
On November 12th, Ryan Zim had a chance to play with Poofy and the Busboys at the iconic Bowery Ballroom in Lower Manhattan. Tell us about your experience.
And the Bowery Ballroom was cool. It was kind of like a surreal experience, actually. I was on stage thinking I was really nervous, but then after the first couple songs, I just kind of got used to it and just went with the flow. And it was all, you know how people say like it was all a blur? It kind of actually was, because I don't really remember standing on stage. Kind of just went by really quickly, and I probably should have savored the moment more, but nevertheless, it was pretty awesome.
Although Ryan is unsure what the future holds, he hopes one day to either work for the NHL or in the music industry.